Hi, I hope you're doing good. Today's lesson is gonna be about the difference between the Real Yaa and the Alef Maqsoura. So, as you can see here, this is a Yaa, right? No, it's not a Yaa. This is called Alef Maqsoura. And this is the Real Yaa. So what is the difference? Actually, it has a lot of ways to differentiate between them. First of all, yes, they look exactly like each other, but here you can find the two dots. And remember when I told you that a bed letter with two dots under the bed, it's called Yaa. So this is the Real Yaa. But here you have the bed, yes, but there is no dots under. So it's not Yaa, it's Alif. And that's why you can find like a small Alif written here to tell you I am not a Real Yaa, I am an Alif. And this Alif is called Alef Maqsoura. It's one of the types of the Alif, and inshallah I will make a separate lesson about the types of Alif in the Arabic language. But for now, one of the types of Alif here is called Alef Maqsoura. It looks like Yaa, but it doesn't have two dots, and it has like a small Alif here. Here you have the two dots, and you can never ever find the Alif because it's not Alif, it's a Real Yaa. Another way to differentiate between them, the Yaa comes at the end of the word. You know that this Yaa looks like this at the end of the word, okay? And here you can find Kasra, like E. You have Kasra before the Real Yaa. On the other hand, because this is not a Real Yaa, it is an Alif. So you can find the Fatha to make the sound A. So you have to make sure that you find a Fatha before a Yaa that doesn't have two dots, so it's not a Yaa, it's an Alif, and that's why there is Fatha. So here, for example, you say Sal ma, ma. Why? Because the Yaa is not a Real Yaa, there is no dots here, and the Mim has Fatha. So of course this is not a Real Yaa, it's Alef Maqsoura. So you have to pronounce it like Alif. So I do not have to put the Alif here, no. So how do you pronounce this word? You say Sal ma, ma, ma. The Mim has Fatha and you pronounce this as Alif. Salma. And here you say Huda, a, because it's Alif, no dots, and the letter that comes before it has Fatha. Huda. And here you say Layla, Layla. The Lam has Fatha and there is no dots, so it's a, Alif Maqsoura. Layla. And here you say Fata, Fata. And here you say Mata. And here you say Ila. Remember in the previous lesson we talked about Ila al-madrasa. I said Ila, it means two. Ila. So this is not a Yaa, it's Alif. That's why you can find the Fatha on the Lam before this Alif, Alif Maqsoura. Ila. And here you say Ala. And here you say Jara, Jara. So it's very clear that it's not a Real Yaa, it's Alef Maqsoura, and what comes before it always has Fatha. Here's these two words. Here you say Musa, Musa. Well, let me tell you something. This is one of the secrets that Arab can read any words without even knowing the vowels. We just read it. Why? Because as you know, this is what? A long vowel with waw. So of course it has sukoon. So I do not have to write it. And if you have a long vowel with waw, it means that the letter that comes before it has dhamma. You know this, so you do not have to write it. And this is not a Real Yaa, it's Alef Maqsoura. So of course it is Alif, so you do not have to write it. And if it's like Alef Maqsoura, of course it is preceded by a letter that has Fatha. So the sin has Fatha, so you do not have to write it. So of course it's clear that it's Musa without writing the vowels. And same goes with Isa. Here, what is this? Isa, Isa. Here the Yaa is a long vowel. So of course it has sukoon. And if you have a long vowel with Yaa, so of course it's preceded by a letter that has Kasra, so you do not have to write it. And here it's what? Alef Maqsoura. And that's why you can never find dots under it, and you can find like a small Alif right here to tell you that I'm not a Real Yaa, I am an Alif, and my name is Alef Maqsoura. So that's why the Alif is here. You do not have to write it. It's clear. And of course, since it's Alif Maqsoura, the letters that comes before it has fatha. That's why the sin has fatha. So you do not have to write it. So Arabs read it naturally, no problem. Oh, Musa, Isa, how do you know? It's clear. Inshallah, later in the future, when we read some texts, you will learn how to do this like a native speaker. So do not worry about it for now. So you say Salma, Fata, Huda, Mata, Layla, Ila, Musa, Ala, Isa, Jara, and so on. Salma is a name of a girl, Huda, a name of a girl, and Huda also means like guidance. Okay, Layla, a name of a girl, Musa, Moses, of course, Isa, like Jesus, of course, Fata, like a young boy or a young man, like youth, Mata, like when, Ila, to, Ala, on, Jara, ran. Okay, the past of run, ran. One last thing to know about this kind of Alif Maqsoura, it always comes at the end of the word. Look, at the end of the word. Like you can never ever find Alif Maqsoura in the beginning or in the middle of the word. It's always at the end. On the other hand, the real Ya, it's a real Ya. So you have to pronounce it like Ya. And it comes everywhere. It doesn't matter. You can have it in the beginning, in the middle, at the end, in the beginning, at the end. It doesn't matter because it's a letter, a real letter. Okay? And you can tell that it has two dots and what comes before it has kasra. So let's try to read these words here. Here, how do you pronounce this? You say yadu, yadu, yadu. And here you say baytu, baytu. And here yajri, yajri. I'm telling you that the kasra here before the ya at the end of the word. This is how the ya looks at the end of the word. Okay, look, this is the ya at the end of the word, and this is the ya at the beginning or here at the middle. Okay, so this ya at the end of the word right there, this ya is preceded by a kasra. You see? So you have to say yajri. You do not say yajra, ra. No, no, no. Why ra? You have two dots, so it's not alif, it's ya. And of course, since it's ya at the end of the word, it's preceded by a letter that has kasra. So you have to say ri, like yajri, the e sound, yajri. Okay, yadu, it means hand, bayt, house or home. Yajri, to run. Yajri in the present, jara in the past. On the other hand, okay, there is something very important to bear in mind. But let me tell you first, how do you pronounce this word? You would say al-qadi. Oh my gosh, why do you say al? Because of the qaf. The qaf is what? A moon letter, which makes the lam a moon lam. That's why you can find the sukun on the lam. That's why you have to pronounce the lam. It's not silent, you have to pronounce it. So you say al-qadi, di. Here it is ya at the end preceded by kasra, al-qadi. And here al-madi, al-madi. The mim is a moon letter, that's why the lam is pronounced and it has sukun. Al-madi, like ya preceded by kasra. Al-wadi, ya preceded by kasra, and you pronounce the lam because of the waw as well, moon letter. So the thing is, this is very important. This error is very important because a lot of Arabs make so many mistakes when it comes to like writing a word that ends with this kind of ya, and they would say qadi. No, 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 no. It's a very silly common mistake even Arabs make sometimes. They would delete the alif and lam and they would keep the ya, and instead of saying al-qadi, they would say qadi without alif and lam. Qadi, e with the ya. This is wrong. There is something you need to know. This ya right here, it stays in the presence of al. As long as there is al, you have to keep the ya in the word. If you make the al disappear, there is no al anymore, you have to delete the ya and you put tanween with kasra. So you don't say qadi, you have to say qadin, qadin, tanween with kasra. And this is exactly what we said in the last video when we talked about alif and lam and tanween. We said alif and lam and tanween, they are enemies, remember? They hate each other. They can never ever exist in one word. And that's why if there is alif and lam, you can never ever find tanween here. There is no tanween. You say al-qadi. The ya should stay in the presence of alif and lam. The ya should disappear in the absence of alif and lam. And tanween should take the upper hand in the absence of the alif and lam. So al-qadi, qadin. What is the difference? Well, al-qadi, this is definite. It means the judge. Al-qadi, the judge. Here, there is no al, so you say a judge, like any judge. So here, definite, here, indefinite. Here you say the, here you say a. Al-qadi, the judge. Qadin, like a judge, like any judge, indefinite. And same goes with these words. Al-madi, so if you are gonna delete the alif and lam, you're gonna delete the ya and you put tanween with kasra. Instead of saying al-madi, you say madin. Al-madi, madin. Here with alif and lam, here without alif and lam. Same goes with this word. By the way, al-madi, it means like the past. Madin, like a past, like past, like without alif and lam, indefinite. Okay? Here, al-wadi. The ya stays. Why? Because of the alif and lam. Okay, let's make the alif and lam disappear, and the ya, of course, will disappear. Who takes the upper hand? Oh, look, the tanween says, okay, I'm the big man right now. There is no alif and lam, there is no ya. I will take the upper hand. That's why you can find the tanween. So if you find any Arab saying like wadi, tell him you're wrong. You can never ever say wadi. Why? Because ya should stay in the presence of alif and lam. There is no alif and lam here. You have to delete this ya, and you have to make sure that the tanween with kasra, tanween with kasra, not tanween with dhamma or tanween with fatha. Tanween with kasra takes the upper hand. So as you can see here, yadu, hand, baytu, home or house, yajri, to run in the present, al-qadi, the judge, qadin, a judge, al-madi, like the past, madin, like past, like indefinite, al-wadi, like the valley, you know, mountains and hills and the valley. If you delete the alif and lam, you delete the ya and you put tanween wadin, like a valley. So yadu, baytu, yajri, al-qadi, qadin, al-madi, madin, al-wadi, wadin. One last thing I want you to understand pretty well because it's a little bit tricky. I want you to know that this Alif Maqsoura, it never accepts the vowels. Like you can never say fata'u. It's impossible. You can never use fatha. It's impossible. You can never use kasra. It's impossible. Dhamma and fatha and kasra, the vowels can never ever be used with a word that ends with Alif Maqsoura. It's wrong. And even the tanween, the three cases here, we have something called like marfu', like nominative, mansub, accusative, and majroor, like genitive. The German people would understand what I'm talking about, nominative and accusative and genitive. But this is like something related more to the grammar rules. This will be explained later, inshallah, in details. But for now, I want you to know that this alif never accepts the vowels, fatha or dhamma or kasra, and never ever accepts any kind of tanween except tanween with fatha. And as you know, the tanween should be always on the letter that comes before the alif. I don't put the tanween on the alif. I told you this before. And he would be like, where is the alif? I'm telling you, this is the alif. Alif Maqsoura. Like here there is alif. So you can never ever put the tanween here on this letter, the alif. No. You put it on the letter that comes before the alif. I said this before in the tanween's lesson, if you remember. This is a nominative sentence. So هذا فتى. هذا فتى. So you pronounce it as فتى. Okay, with تنوين with فتحة. This is accusative sentence. رأيت فتى. So you pronounce it as فتى. تنوين with فتحة. This is a genitive sentence. So you say مع فتى. You say it فتى. تنوين with فتحة. So here you can tell that Alif Maqsoura accepts the tanween. Yes, but there is an exception. Except some words, okay, we call them ممنوع من الصرف. ممنوع من الصرف, it is a higher level Arabic. I'm not gonna go into details now about this lesson, but for now I want you to know that there are some words are called ممنوع من الصرف, like you can never ever use tanween with these words. Here you would say كبرى. كبرى, you see, like it ends with Alif Maqsoura. صغرى, it ends with Alif Maqsoura. عظمى, it ends with Alif Maqsoura. All these words, like they never accept vowels or tanween. Why? Because they are, first of all, they don't accept the vowels because it's Alif Maqsoura. And they don't accept the tanween because they are ممنوع من الصرف. هذا فتى, like this is a young man. رأيت فتى, I saw a young man. مع فتى, with a young man. كبرى and صغرى and عظمى, they are all adjectives for feminine. And when we talk about the adjectives later, inshallah, you will know why we say this. Why we say صغرى and كبرى and عظمى later. But for now, I want you to know that all these words are adjectives for like feminine, for a girl. كبرى, it means like big. صغرى, small. عظمى, great. So I hope that you understood the difference between the real Ya and the Alif Maqsoura. Okay, inshallah in the next lesson we'll be talking about the difference between the Ha and the Ta in details. So get yourself ready and see you later, alligator.